Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Greetings everybody guys. In the current week we again will take a look at the Australian dollar instead of gold. So it seems some kind of a tradition starting to take a look in the weekly research in Australian dollar. But actually what we could do if really Australian dollar brings more interesting setup than the gold market. And on the gold market we have talked a lot on the previous week in the daily videos. So it's really nothing to add right now. So major event has happened on the gold market. Gold market has broken the 1150 support. This is really important. And right now we just could watch for a development of the situation. As you know, the gold almost has dropped to the 1120 on the last week. So it was next our temporal target. That's why fundamentally, as the major support has been broken, we just all that we could do just watch for a development of the situation. And currently is a major question where the market will form the double bottom on the monthly chart instead of the hand shoulders, I mean on gold market. But the answer on this question we probably will get only on the next year after the new year. So, but Australian dollar instead provides a really nicely looking short-term setup that has some patterns that could be traded as by the scalp traders, as by the daily traders. And we see this really interesting situation is forming here. On the last weekly research, we have started to talk on the changing fundamental situation for Australia, mostly due to the changing in the geopolitical situation and the fiscal policy of the United States, economical policy that should be adjusted by the Donald Trump. And this changed the role of the Australian dollar in the global economy. So previously, when Fed just can't specify some certainty policy, it was some uncertainty around the policy of the Fed, geopolitical tensions, separatistic sentiment in the European Union. So all this stuff was the backwind for Australian dollar. It was supportive factors, since Australia is the economy, healthy economy with the healthy interest rates, with the low debt burdens, higher credit rating, and that was real support for Australian dollar. But right now the situation has changed, and we talked about it in the fundamental part of our weekly research. With the changing situation, with the more aggressive Fed policy, with the adjustment, as I said, more protections for domestic producers will be on the United States, some adjustment in the taxes, and so on. So Trump trying to stimulate the domestic production, and this brings more support to the United States dollar, and that will become the headwind to the Australian dollar relation to the United States dollar. This changing picture could really become the pressure on Australian dollar in the medium term. We think that could drop as low as to the previous bottom, so around 68 lows right here, or even collapse even further if patterns that we have pointed on the monthly chart will be formed. But in the short term, guys, on the daily chart, we also see some interesting picture. So let's start talking on what we could get on the next week. Here, as you can see, market standing in effect with the large ABCD pattern to the downside. First, it has hit 618 target. Retracement up has followed. Minor retracement. Market has retested and tested the monthly pivot point, has failed to pass through it and drop lower. This confirms existence of the short of the bearish sentiment, and has moved below the 618 target. So next target of this pattern stands right here, 71 even, approximately. There are two major issues, guys, on this chart. The first issue stands with these lows, because, guys, until market stands above these lows, theoretically, it keeps chances on the upward reversal, right? Because market could form, let's just imagine. So it could form the butterfly here. For example, this could become the left wing, and that could become the right wing. Although we will not trying to dig in the some other nuances, although we think that it's hardly possible, but still theoretical chances exist. And this point is the key to the bullish rebound and the bearish continuation. In fact, if market will drop below these lows, I call these points as the node point. So because this is the major culmination and the separate, this is the border between the bullish possibilities and bearish domination. As soon as market will break it down, all bullish opportunities will be vanished. That's why this point is important. And second issue, this ABCD pattern. So if you take a look at the AB equals CD target stands below these lows. And it means if market will start move down, these lows will not survive. Because when the target stands slightly below the lows, this is the trap, guys, for those who take the position on the breakout. So traders will try to take the position on the breakout of these lows, but as market will take this target, it starts to retrace, and that will become the trap. So this is very, very interesting situation. But existence of the target below the lows tells that these lows mostly doomed. They will be taken out. And take a look what's really going on. Market already starts action to the next target because it's already hit the first target, shows retracement. That is the extension mode. Extension, contraction, extension. And here it should continue right to the 100% because everything around first target already has been done. The one reason why market hasn't dropped to the real support, 72 areas, the 618 major support and monthly pivot support one, that is daily oversold, guys, that hold market from the further drop. If we wouldn't get it, it's probably market here could drop right to this support area because take a look, this plunge was really fast in 3 sessions, very fast acceleration down based on the Fed policy announcement. So daily chart leads us to conclusion that market should continue move lower. Chances that these lows will survive are very small, since market should reach this target maybe in the next week, maybe within the 2 weeks. But this probably will happen. And the only one real support stands on the way down is this level, 72, 72.10. But it already has been tested here. So it will not be as strong as it was in the first test. That's why in the daily chart, our next destination point stands at 71 even. That should be completed maybe, as I said, within a couple of weeks probably, maybe faster. At the same time, in the beginning of the next week, since market stands at oversold here, we expect some minor bounce here. Just to abandon this uncomfortable condition, this market could show some minor retracement before real downward continuation will be reestablished. So that's the conclusion that we could make on the daily chart. Now, moving to the 4-hour time frame chart. On the 4-hour time frame chart, first of all, take a look that we were correct on our anticipation of this drop, because here, as we have discussed last week, we saw really irrational behavior for the bullish market. So this is, guys, a very crucial point to know the market mechanics. If you understand the market mechanics, you will it lets you to make the conclusions that's not quite obvious, and this lets you to understand what's really is going on with the price behavior. So I just recall you that the major idea was around this ABCD pattern. So we have traded this bread and butter, and after that market has reestablished its upward action. And we said, since market already has completed ABCD, shows retracement after that, it should continue to the 1618 target. And it hasn't done it. It wasn't able to do this. You can see market just reached this previous top and failed. This leads us to conclusion that something is wrong here, and we should be ready for a possible drop. And this drop has happened. Right now, we're mostly interested with this drop, since you can see this is really nice thrust down that is suitable for the bread and butter trade. Why we're looking for a bread and butter instead of the double repo? Because, guys, bread and butter is the continuation pattern, and on the daily chart, we are watching for a downward continuation. Here's just tactical pause due to the result. That's why appearing with the bread and butter seems logical. So for the Brent body, you can see we will be watching for this fib level 73.64. That is coincides with the weekly pivot point. And that's just perfect combination, guys. So this market will test the weekly pivot point and trade level. This will be nice opportunity for taking the short position on the Brent body trade. You could trade it differently. You could take the profit right on the Brent body target right here, somewhere around 73 even, or you could use this setup as the tool for taking the short on daily perspective for longer trading. That's just choice stands upon to you. So what do you like more? That's what we were watching for on Australian dollars. You can see very interesting situation. Patterns for trading exist as for short term, as for longer term, the daily chart. And it's really interesting to watch for what will happen in Australian dollar in the next week.